What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the garage. In this next video, you're going to see the workout completed over the last couple of weeks. We got the truck back from alignment and tires. We got the bed cleaned up. We got the bed liner installed. We got the bed cover on. We got some bump stops set up to keep from damaging the underside of the bed. And we got the brake drums in the back cleaned up and painted. Before we get too far into it though, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that button for the notifications. That way you get updates whenever I post new videos and you can keep up with my progress on this thing. I really enjoy working on this truck and I hope you guys enjoy the content right along with me. Unfortunately, we could not get the hood painted yet. My buddy that's going to help me out was busy today and it's supposed to drop temperature tomorrow, so it's going to be too cold to paint. So hopefully by the end of this week and the next weekend, we'll get the hood installed. But for now, we got everything else on the list done, so I hope you guys enjoy. All right, guys, we're headed over to the tire shop. I got the appointment to get the rear tires installed and the alignment for the front. That's going to finish off the drop kit and wheels. We can finally knock that one off the list completely. Get this thing drivable so we can enjoy it. Those back tires are just, they're done. And plus they're drag radial, so you wouldn't be able to drive them if it's raining. So I'm excited to get this finished up, get my truck back. Let's go get it. All right, we got her picked up. My eyeball alignment wasn't too bad, but they got it all fixed up and they said you can't fix a caster. It's not adjustable. Let's have a look. Big boy fatties on the back. You gotta go with the Cobras for the OBS. That's just the only tire you can get for these. That's all there is. Front end's nice and straight, looking good. Look at that stance. Woo. Loving it. All right, time to take her home and clean her up. Tell you what, guys, it's getting dark earlier and earlier. I just barely got home from the gym and it's already dark out there, almost dark. We got to get a little work done on this truck. I'm going to go ahead and clean up the bed so I can let it dry overnight and then we can lay the bed mats and the bed cover on tomorrow. I went ahead and picked up the paint for the hood. Got the white and got the clear and got some prep. So we're going to get that knocked out this weekend. So right now I'm going to go ahead and grab this stuff. I got some simple green and a power brush over here. I'll spray this bed down and scrub it real good and then let it dry overnight in the garage. And then we'll be able to throw the bed mat in and the bed cover on, get that knocked out, get some progress. All right, I'm gonna get this knocked out before it gets dark. It's cloudy too. All right. All right, that did pretty good. It's a little dark, so you can't really see all that well, but a lot of the black up here came off. A lot of the underneath the sides up there came off. It's looking pretty good. I could probably go over it again, but I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just wanted to get some of that grime off of there. Truck probably hadn't been washed in 20 years in the bed at least. So I had to put it up on the ramp so it would drain good. Use my little wood ramps I built. I'm gonna let it drain, then I'll put it back in the garage and we'll install the bed mat, tailgate cover, or tailgate mat and the bed cover tomorrow. Progress. All right, back out here again. We're gonna make a little bit more progress on the truck. I cleaned up the bed last night, let it dry overnight because I'm gonna put this this rubber mat in, so it's looking pretty good. Let's have a look at that real quick. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a lot cleaner than it was. So we're gonna go ahead and lay that bed mat in, that's it here, and then try to fit this bed cover. I'm going to go pick up the other spoiler tomorrow, the right one, the one with the notch in it. So I'm going to hold off on the tailgate piece because I got to see, well, I'll test fit it first. If it doesn't come anywhere close to this top, then I'll be good. But I know that spoiler is going to come down a little ways, so I need to make sure that they don't overlap. I may have to trim the rubber mat. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the big mat in there, get it unwrapped and laid out, and then we'll see what we got to do to get this bed cover put on and get some progress. Got my little helper out here tonight. She's been rambunctious, so she's going to hang out with me. This is Kimber. Kimber. Yeah. She likes to explore. Anyway, I'll get started. Get a little good close-up look at this mat. I mean, this is a DZ brand, so it's a brand name mat, so it's not some, you know, off the market stuff. But I mean, it's thick, and it's got these little rubber bumpers to keep it elevated, so no water settles under there and gets stuck, causes rust. And so I just wanted to give you guys a close-up of this. It's that brand there. I'll put links to everything in the description, of course, so you guys can go check it out. But one thing to check, I want to make sure it looks like this gap and this gap are basically the same size, but this one has a notch. So we got to look, it looks like this end is going to be this way because it's got a notch in it. So it's got to be mindful of that when we roll it out so we don't have to wrestle it and flip it again. So, all right, I'm going to lay it out. All right, so this is the tailgate mat. I haven't even unrolled it yet, but you can tell this end's lined up kind of with the edge of the tailgate right there. And this end goes all the way. So I'm gonna have to wait until I get that spoiler where I can measure how far down it's gonna go. I may be able to put the spoiler on and then lip the rubber over and then use the same screws to hold both. That might be an option, but I'm going to have to wait on that one. I'm picking it up tomorrow though, so I can do it tomorrow night. Not a big deal. But the mat's good. You have to excuse my dirty footprints. Mat fits good. Needs to relax a little bit. It's a little wrinkly on the end here where it was rolled, but it fits nicely. It hugs all the corners and everything looks good. It's super heavy, so it's not going to blow out or flop around, I don't think. I like that a lot. Really gives the truck a little tougher look. All right, I'm gonna get this mat out of the way and we're gonna work on that tonneau. I'll tell you what, guys, I was kind of skeptical with the price. This thing was like, I think $260 normal price, but it was on sale for like $190. I was skeptical, but I mean, it's very well packed. It's got this like cover bag on it, and it looks nice. I mean, it's got the nice seals on it. I got to wrestle it out of this bag, but it's looking promising. I'm really surprised. It's got some seal, probably a tailgate seal. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna open it up the rest of the way and hope there's some instructions in there somewhere. But so far, it's looking promising. All right, I did find some instructions. So we got, step one's gonna be to put a seal across the front. That's the seal pack that I found. The thing is, the truck's gonna be painted soon. Well, not soon, but eventually. So I don't want to put that seal down until after fully painted. So I'm going to leave it off for now and just put it away. I don't need this to be 100% waterproof, so it's not a huge deal. So next step's going to be get the tonneau up on the bed and unfold it, and then we'll secure the straps, get everything going. And so I'm going to get this box out of the way, get it on there, and we'll see how it fits. All right, so I kind of have it laid out where it's going to be. So we're going to get these front clamps set up. So these just kind of fold down. And so you got a screw here, and it says you can move it that hole or that hole. So I'm going to have to move it out a hole to line up with the edge of this bed on both sides. And then I guess these are like safety, like if those come loose, this keeps it from blowing off. I don't know. Probably should read the instructions. But I'm gonna get these screws moved first because that's required. And then I think in that pack there was some pads for this to keep it from scratching the paint, because you know I don't want to scratch my paint or anything. Let me grab some supplies and we'll get that knocked out. All right, so it's really best to kind of fold this thing out completely so you can line it up, make sure you got a good gap in the front. Make sure you're straight down your sides with an even gap for those. And then go ahead and put your tailgate up and make sure you line up good there. Lines up pretty good. So now that that's done, you can get back under there and do those front clips and secure the front, and then we'll fold it back out and finish the back. So now that I know where these latches are going to land, I can put these rubber pads down that goes underneath them on the paint there. And then the same with these. These safety latches have to go like this. And they're just there if something happens, the top doesn't blow off like in traffic and hurt somebody. All right, let's get started. All right, got those secured, tightened down. Got the safety latches on both sides. We're going to go ahead and unfold this thing. And then we got to adjust these quick latches here. Same thing. Looks like I'm going to have to move the screw to the outer hole. So let me knock that out real quick, and then we'll latch it down. See what it looks like. All right, so I got those moved to the outer hole to line up with the bed rail the best. Get these tucked in. See about getting them latched. This thing is tight, so it won't go down on its own. I'm gonna have to hold it down while I tighten them up, so hang on. So if these won't fit under the bed rail, you just unscrew it and then it loosens and gets longer until it latches under like that. Now it looks like I did it wrong. So that's released the handle up, and then you put it under and then you pull it down. So we're almost there. Tighten it up a little more, probably back to where it was. This is different from my last tonneau cover I had on my old truck. It went sideways instead of just straight down. A little bit more. It's touching, but it's not really snug. All right, let's try that. All right, that locked down pretty good. All right, I'm gonna knock out the other side and then we'll see how it looks. All right, we got those latched down on both sides. Similar tension. Put the tailgate up, let's see how she looks. Oh yeah, that's a game changer. Man, the truck looks good with a bed cover on it. Ooh, that is nice. I really like that. For 190 bucks, I think that's probably the best bang for the buck I did on the whole truck. That's nice. Cool. Mark those two off the list. Let's go ahead and knock that out while I got you guys in my hand. I'm gonna do bed cover. bed liner. Sweet. Hood's going to be painted Sunday. Yep. It's coming along. List is getting shorter. Like it a lot. I want to throw these bump stops on real quick. As I said in the other video, they're going to go inside the C-notch to keep the rear end from hitting the bottom of the bed. So I had to put it on ramps because now it's too low for me to slide under there anymore. I guess it's the drawback of having a lower truck, but whatever. It looks good. So I'm going to slide under there with this, and we'll throw them on real quick, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. I also want to show you some of the things I did, a little bit of a follow-up on the drop. How I secured the hard lines and the parking brake cable. I'll show you that too while I'm under there. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but there's a hole in the top of the C-notch right there, and that's where these bump stops are going to go in, just like that, with a nut on top. So that'll be pretty straightforward, but real quick, when you do this C-notch kit, this bracket for these hard lines is mounted to a couple of bolts through the frame rail. You can see the holes right here. But now that, let me get some light. There we go. Now that the C-notch is on there, those holes don't go through anymore. So you've got nowhere to bolt this bracket back down. And I didn't want to just flop it around under here because it holds the brake lines. It looks like only the hard line and the soft line there, and the breather. So what I did is I took the same drill bit that we had drilled out the C-notch with and drilled one of the holes in the bracket out, that top one there. And then I was able to, let me get some light where you can see. I was able to get another nut and slide it over just like this bolt sticks out. One of the bolts for the C-notch, I slid it over the back of it and then put another nut on the back to hold it. I mean, it's not holding any weight, it's just keeping it from flopping around, so it only caught 3 or 4 threads, but it's better than nothing. So that's solid now, it's not going to flop. I was able to get the bracket up there back installed. This one doesn't line up anymore, but that one's solid, so it won't do anything. But if you look up here, you can see where that brake line is already rubbed. Right there, the shiny part, and I don't want the rear end contacting that, so that's why we're putting in the bump stops. So I want to knock those out real quick so I can get ready to go to bed. It's getting late. Cool. All right, got that one installed, got the other side installed. Hopefully that'll help slow down that rear end and keep it from slamming. So that's it for tonight. Looking pretty good. All right, off to the next one. Gotta write it on there so you can mark it off. One more down. Just a quick update for you guys. I kind of changed my mind on this spoiler. I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and install the bed mat for the tailgate for now because we're not going to do the spoiler right now. We're going to do it at a later date, and I'm going to explain to you why. So I've been watching a lot of videos about how to install this thing and what all it takes, and it's a little more in depth than I thought it was going to be. I thought I would just be able to slide it on there, throw some rivets or some MH bolts through there, maybe with some riv nuts or something, and be done. But it seems to be a little more in depth than that. So another idea I saw in another video is the guy filled in these bed stakes. And this truck already has some holes drilled, I think, from previous like bed rails that need to be filled as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to invest in a cheap welder, and I'm going to teach myself to weld by filling in these stake pockets and these holes. Once I get those filled in, smoothed out and nice and pretty, then we'll install the spoiler, because whenever I do the molding in for these sides, that's the wrong one, hang on, let me grab the other one. When I do the molding in for these sides, They're going to go like that basically. And I want to be able to just, that one needs to be trimmed up a lot. But I want to be able to mold it forward without this hole in the way and just make it all one smooth run to where it ramps up into that. So that's going to be the goal. I've always wanted to learn how to weld. I've got some friends that are welders, so I've got some people to mentor me and show me what to do. But I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill these in, weld them in, fill these holes. There's some more up in the middle of there. And that will give me some practice and make a change to the truck that'll be nice and clean. I mean, there's no use for bed stakes anymore, at least not for this truck. And I still have the holes inside here, you know, for tie downs if I need them. But I don't plan on putting anything in those bed stakes. So I'm going to fill them in. If you guys have any comments or suggestions on what welder I should get, ideally something that runs on 110 because I don't have 220 on this side of the garage. I could run one over here. I don't right now. Eventually I will because I'll need it for the lift. But if you have something that you've tried before, something that's a good starter kit, that's a 110 welder, put it in the comments. Let me know. I'll check it out. Hopefully I can pick up something soon and get started on that. All right. All right, so we're gonna get this tailgate mat rolled out. Find some instructions. I'm sure there's some self-tapping screws or something in there to mount it with. Let me wrap this thing up good. There we go. Plastic off of there. I'm gonna drop the screw. All right. We got us some regular black screws. Seems to be pretty mirror image. There's no up or down. Let's see if there's anything. It says use a 9/64 drill bit, drill in one corners, insert the screw and reposition the tailgate protector as needed, drill the remaining holes. 26 screws and holes. All right, let me find a little drill bit. We'll get this thing laid out and get the first one done. All right, so we've got to be mindful on our gaps here. So I'll push this side down. See the gap there, the gap here at the top. And I go to the other side, very similar size gap, and at the top. That one needs to go down just a touch. Maybe this one needs to come up. Really the important part's this side. Make sure that it lines up with the bottom so it doesn't hit that mat. Just like that. All right, I'm gonna punch a hole and we'll get it knocked out. All right, I'm just gonna make sure it closes correctly real quick. I mean, we only got the top two in. At least we can see that it's not going to hit anything. It's going to fold up correctly. Yeah, I think it's hitting the bottom quite a bit. Even a bit flattened out. I think I'm going to have to trim it. No, I think I'd have to do that, but all right, regroup. All right, so I did a little trimming on the bottom. That was a fiasco, so I don't really have the right tools. I had to use a jigsaw, and then the mat kept flopping, so I had to put a piece of board underneath it, but I trimmed it a little bit. It's not very straight, but at least it'll close now. Probably should have just sent it back and got another one, but whatever. We're here now. All right, so I'm going to put the bottom corners in and then do the rest. I only see 12 screws. I don't know why they said there's 26. But anyway, get this one in next. All right, we're installed. I'm just gonna leave the tailgate down for a while and kind of let this rubber kind of relax. I rolled it the other way, which helped a lot, but it still got a roll or curve to it from shipping. I'm gonna leave it, let it kind of flatten out. We'll check back on it later. Consider that one done. I already took it off because of the other mat. All right, next is the hood. All right, we got the OBS back in here. Still waiting on the hood paint. My buddy that's supposed to paint it had something come up, can't get it today. And it's supposed to drop like 30 degrees overnight tonight, so it's gonna have to be later this week. So for now, we're gonna work on these back brakes. You know, it wasn't that big of a deal with the old wheels because you couldn't see them, but now that these new wheels are on here, you can see those drums, and they're rough, right? I mean, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zip these tires off real quick. We're gonna wire wheel those, and then we're gonna paint them with some high temp black engine enamel. Get them looking good. That'll be pretty much the end of this round of videos, with the exception of the hood. Hopefully that'll be happening pretty soon, but I'm at the mercy of the weather and my buddy's schedule because he's a busy man. So let's get this knocked out and finish it up. All right, so we got the truck up on some jack stands, got this wheel off. It looks like just a lot of surface rust. It's not that bad, but I think this wire wheel is gonna take care of it. I got a wire wheel here on my drill, fresh battery. I got another wire, a more straight line one. See which one works better. Got my Michael Jackson glove on so that wire brush doesn't tear up my hand. So we're gonna knock this out, see what it looks like. Hit it with some brake clean to get all the oil and stuff off, and then paint it, and then we'll go do the other side while this one dries. Let's do it. All right, got that one painted up. It was kind of a pain in the butt to get in all those little ribs, but I think we got it covered. I went kind of heavy on it. Just going to do one coat and just let it dry for a couple hours. Tried to avoid the threads as best I could so that I don't gum up my lug nuts. I'm going to put some anti-seize on them when I put the wheels back on. But other than that, I mean, looking pretty good. Once it dries, it'll be more of a flat black, I think, so it'll look good. All right, I'm going to go do the other side. All right, got this side knocked out real quick. Cleaned it up, painted it up. I don't know how. I guess I need to turn in my man card because I did not have any brake clean anywhere. So I just used the air chuck there to knock the dust off. Hopefully that's good and it won't peel or anything. But all right, we just let it dry. Yep. All right, guys, that's going to pretty much end it for this series. It looks like the hood's going to be another week, and I don't want to wait that long to post another video. So we'll do that one separately. For now, all of the visual changes I wanted to do are done with the exception of that spoiler. So I'm going to start doing my research. I'm going to try to find myself a good starter welding set and start practicing on that so I can use that to help on the truck here. We're going to fill in the bed stake holes and those holes that someone else drilled for bed rails before we install that spoiler. It's up there on the wall, so I keep looking up there. It's way up there. So yeah, that's going to finish this one up. Thank you guys for hanging out with me here in the garage. If you like what I'm doing, if you like getting some updates, notifications whenever I post a new video, and you want to keep track of my progress, please subscribe to the channel, and you can hit the notification bell as well. And on that note, I just hit 500 subscribers, so thank you all for subscribing to me and watching all my videos. I really hope you enjoy the content, if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those. I try to get back to everybody. I love talking with you guys, getting ideas and inspiration and answering your questions. It's really fun for me, so keep doing that. You guys have a good one and rock on.